Imagine criar um aplicativo com a sua assinatura, só com o poder da imaginação. Conheça a Base 44, uma plataforma
Some of our viewers have claimed that the Verizon outage is connected to possible strikes on Iran. One of our viewers said, new message from Reza Pahlavi. New message from Reza Pahlavi. Just came out, guys. Brand new. Let's see what Reza Pahlavi has to say. Here it is. Here's his new message. Again, the opposition figure who is outside of Iran, son of the Shah of Iran, the last leader before the revolution. Reza Pahlavi says to all of our friends around the world, under the yoke of the Islamic Republic, Iran is identified in your minds with terrorism, extremism, and poverty. The real Iran is a different Iran, a beautiful, peace-loving, and flourishing Iran. It is the Iran that existed before the Islamic Republic, and it is the Iran that will rise again from its ashes the day the Islamic Republic falls. So let me be clear about how a free Iran will act toward its neighbors and the world after the fall of this regime. In security and foreign policy, Iran's nuclear military program will end. Support for terrorist groups will cease immediately. A free Iran will work with regional and global partners to confront terrorism, organized crime, drug trafficking, and extremist Islamism. Iran will act as a friend and a stabilizing force in the region, and it will be a responsible partner in global security. In diplomacy, relations with the United States will be normalized, and our friendship with America and her people will be restored. The state of Israel will be recognized immediately. We will pursue the expansion of the Abraham Accords into the Cyrus Accords, bringing together a free Iran, Israel, and the Arab world, he says. A new chapter will begin, grounded in mutual recognition, sovereignty, and national interest. In energy, Iran holds some of the largest oil and gas reserves in the world. A free Iran will become a reliable energy supplier to the free world. Policy making will be transparent. Iran's actions will be responsible. Prices will be predictable. In transparency and governance, Iran will adopt and enforce international standards. Money laundering will be confronted. Organized corruption will be dismantled. Public institutions will answer to the people. In the economy, Iran is one of the world's last great untapped markets. Our population is educated, modern, with a diaspora that connects it to the four corners of the world. A democratic Iran will open its economy to trade, investment, and innovation, and Iran will seek to invest in the world. Opportunity will replace isolation. This is not an abstract vision. It is a practical one, grounded in national interest, stability, and cooperation. To achieve this, Reza Pahlavi says to the world, now is the time to stand with the Iranian people. The fall of the Islamic Republic and the establishment of a secular democratic government in Iran will not only restore dignity to my people, it will benefit the region and the world. A free Iran will be a force for peace, for prosperity, and for partnership. So he is telling other countries, this is what happens when the regime falls, and you can support this now by helping the regime fall. That's his post. Reza Pahlavi just came out. One of our viewers said, sounds good on paper, just ducky. So it is currently 5:09 a.m. in Iran. Iran has tonight closed its airspace. I don't know why they've closed their airspace. They're letting some planes land and take off, but for the most part, closed. International civilian flights can land and take off. We've seen a few on over the airspace, but no other explanation. What I'll do is put this up there. What I'm going to do, here's what I'm going to do. Let me do this. Take this, put this here, but I'm going to remove the Washington, D.C., because then I can just have it up there. So if you do this, was this going to work? Ah, it worked. There you go. Look, guys. Look what we did. There we go. So that's Flight Radar 24. LCS Fox says, if the regime falls, a big if. Five 10 a.m., guys. In case you missed it, multiple outlets reported, including News Nation, that the U.S. is moving an aircraft carrier to the Middle East from the South China Sea. News Nation said it would take around a week or so to get there. Our viewer, Donovan Villa, thinks that strikes will likely not happen until the carrier strike group gets there. That has not been confirmed, by the way. That's the report, is that there's a carrier strike group going there, but the government has not confirmed that yet. Where is my, hold on, let me see what other reports I have. Hold on a second here. I'm not going to bother saying that. Hey, thanks for being with us. We are bringing you live coverage here of the situation involving Iran. No U.S. strikes on Iran yet. Just checking some different sources here. It is very interesting that they have this airspace closure. Thanks, Mary McHugh, too, for being a member. Thanks also, Daniel Rodriguez, for your support. Daniel says, could all be coincidence with the Verizon outage, but definitely strange. There are talks of striking another country during another day where major carriers are having outages nationwide. That's what Daniel says. Thanks so much, Daniel. I appreciate that. Yes, they extended the airspace closure. It's closing in an hour and 45 minutes. Jess Rivs thinks it's already 5 a.m. in Iran, 5:14 to be exact. Most likely nothing will happen tonight. Comalt thinks it's past 5 a.m. No strikes too late now. There has not been an update from @Penn Pizza Report on X, which said that various pizzerias around the Pentagon are reporting above average traffic. They said that about an hour ago. They have not updated at the moment. Ralph Davis, our viewer, thinks any strike would be during early morning daylight when most protesters have gone home, Ralph says, to avoid collateral damage and so they can get maybe better daytime footage. Most protests happen during nighttime. It is an interesting point that, thanks, Ralph. It is an interesting point that Ralph brings up is that the protests have been happening at night. So, and there have been unconfirmed reports that people, I mean, we talked to to Shangul, Shiva, I mean, who has family in Iran, and she said she had heard that in parts of Iran, people are not allowed to go on the street during the day. So, like martial law style. So, it's possible that more people are out on the street at night during the day. I don't know how late, but I don't know if that changes calculus as to when you might want to launch a strike. It's an interesting point. DTW World Designs thinks Iran has extended the airspace closure until daylight, which makes sense. DTW thinks. I don't know. Maybe they'll have an airspace closure during the day too. Is this true? Our viewer H claims that every time Trump has authorized military strikes, it has been on a Friday night, early Saturday morning. Well, let's think about this. So, what I'd have to check the Venezuela Maduro raid. That was on January 3rd, which is I got to find it here. I got to pull up a calendar. So January 3rd was a Saturday morning. Okay. How about the U.S. attack on Iran nuclear sites was on June 22nd, 2025. Which was, I asked Now, Google AI says June 22nd was a Sunday. It's a weekend. If that's correct. According to Google AI, Qasem Soleimani was assassinated in January, well, on a Friday. I don't know if that's Friday night though, or Friday morning. No, Friday at 1 a.m. said Wikipedia. Well, no, I said Gemini AI. I don't know. It's an interesting question. It's an interesting speculation. Did the AI tell me the right day for the nuclear attack? Yeah, 2020 June 22nd was a Sunday. And that's, yeah, according to Wikipedia, it was on the US attacked nuclear facilities on June 22nd, which was I guess a Sunday. Just double checking here. Yes. Thanks, Nick Rose, for your support. Thanks, Nick. Thanks also Genevieve L., who thinks Iran wants to stop citizens from leaving and reporting what they've seen. That's what Genevieve says. Now, I don't know that this involves the cancellation of flights or how many were canceled. Or I don't know that many flights would be leaving the country overnight. There have been a bunch of airlines reportedly suspending flights going into and out of Iran, but I'm not sure what the current status of that is. Thanks, Genevieve L. Hang on a moment. City of Minneapolis breaking news. Hey guys. City of Minneapolis posted, we are aware of reports of a shooting involving federal law enforcement in North Minneapolis. We are working to confirm additional details. Anyone know anything about that? That's from the City of Minneapolis. Oh, hold on a second. Guys, I have an update. Karen Scullin of Fox 9 reports another person shot by ICE in Minneapolis, this time in the leg. That is for Karen Scullin of Fox 9 Minneapolis reports another person shot by ICE, this one in the leg. Story developing. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. I'll try to get you some more details on that. I don't have any details on that shooting right now, except for what I just mentioned to you. Julio Rosas, who I follow, says, I'm told there has been another federal agent involved shooting during an arrest in Minneapolis. Breaking news. Here's what Bill Malugin of Fox reports. Bill Malugin of Fox News says, I'm told by 4 law enforcement sources there has been another ICE-involved shooting in Minneapolis tonight. I'm told ICE was making contact with the target, who then allegedly assaulted an officer with a shovel or swung a shovel. Shots were fired and the suspect ran back to a house. No info yet, he says, on if anyone was actually shot, just that shots were fired. Very preliminary info, more as we get it. That is from Fox News' Bill Malugin. So keeping an eye on that story too. Waiting to get more details. Not a lot out there at this point. Trying to get you more on that reported shooting involving federal agents. Again, Karen Scullin with Fox 9 says a person was shot by ICE in the leg in northern Minneapolis. Going to see if I can find anything else about. Let's go over to the White House shot for a second. Going to see if I can find anything more updates on Iran. Not hearing much at the moment, but let's see. Let me look around for a second, see what I can find you. What is this? Oh no, that's nothing. Just looking for any kinds of updates here about the situation with Iran. Oh, guys, listen to this from the New York Times. So, you know, President Trump said today, he said that he had been told the killing had stopped in Iran. The New York Times says in Qatar, U.S. military began evacuating an unspecified number of non-essential personnel from Al Udeid Air Base. But after Trump's remarks today, the Pentagon was ready to have troops return to the base, said a U.S. military official who described the president's comments as an off-ramp. That's interesting. The U.S. had been, so again, they report that the U.S. had begun evacuating non-essential personnel from an air base from Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. All right, so just to repeat this report from the New York Times. The New York Times said the U.S. had begun evacuating some non-essential personnel from Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. But after Trump's remarks today, the Pentagon was ready to have troops return to the base, said a U.S. military official who described the president's comments as an off-ramp. That's interesting reporting. All right, hang on a moment. I got to keep an eye out. Let's go back. Let me just show you again here's the airspace. I got to check on the Minneapolis shooting too. Reports of somebody shot in the leg by ICE, unconfirmed, in Minneapolis. Again, Fox News' Bill Melugin said ICE was making contact with a target who then allegedly assaulted an officer with a shovel or swung a shovel. Shots were fired and the suspect ran back into a house. No info yet on if anything was actually shot. Other reports said the person was shot in the leg. Well, Fox 9 reported the person was shot in the leg. Oh, Bill Melugin has an update. Update from Bill Melugin. Hang on. He says, he's with Fox News. I'm now told a suspect believed to be Venezuelan was indeed shot, but is okay, stable, and is now in custody. That's a new report about this Minneapolis ICE shooting by Bill Malugin of Fox. He says the suspect is believed to be Venezuelan. He was shot, but is okay, stable, and is now in custody. You know, Faytux News pointed out that the New York Times also said in their new report that long-range bombers in the U.S. had been put on alert to conduct secondary strikes if needed, but that appeared to have been paused as of this afternoon. I know that we've shown it a bunch of times, but I do want to play it again. President Trump made remarks today at the Oval Office this afternoon saying that he had heard that the killing had stopped. And there's been this question, so does that mean that the military attack is on hold? So let's just watch again what he had to say. It's a short clip. But for those who didn't see it. All right, here's what President Trump had to say this afternoon.
Mr. President, on Iran, you said that the killing has stopped. Who told you that the killings have stopped there?
We have been informed by very important sources on the other side, and they've said the killing has stopped and the executions won't take place. There was supposed to be a lot of executions today, and that the executions won't take place. And we're going to find out. I mean, I'll find out after this. You'll find out. But we've been told on good authority, and I hope it's true. Who knows, right? Who knows?
We've seen the body bags, so how do you trust them?
You've seen that over the last few days, and they said people were shooting at them with guns, and they were shooting back, and it's one of those things. But they told me that there'll be no executions, and so I hope that's true.
Does this mean military action is now off the table against Iran?
We're going to watch and see what the process is, but we were given a very good statement by people that are aware of what's going on.
Is Israel still considering military action?
When they say no executions, everyone is talking about a lot of executions were taking place today. We were just told no executions. I hope that's true. That's a big thing. Yes, but
The foreign minister.
So that's what he said, and people are wondering, does that mean that, I mean, you heard the question, does that mean military action is off the table? We don't know. Give me a moment here. Give me one moment here. Give me one. An hour and 21 minutes left in the Iranian airspace closure. Let me just take a second and see if I have other reports here. Hang on, one moment. Checking a lot of different things at the moment. Where is... Okay, let's go back to the flight radar. From Flight Radar 24, if I hear any more about the reported shooting of a person by ICE in Minnesota, I'll let you know. Some reporting says the person got shot in the leg and they're okay, but I don't have confirmation. Almanar TV, which is a popular, Almanar TV is a popular, I believe, Arabic language news outlet. They are saying that they're in Lebanon. They are now reporting that the U.S. has requested an emergency meeting of the Security Council, of the UN Security Council, for Thursday. Now, TASS, Russia News had reporting that, Russia state media. Al-Manar TV in Lebanon is reporting that now too. I haven't heard anything confirming that. Will there be a UN Security Council meeting on Iran? I don't know. .5:41 local time. By the way, Ford Fisher, who is news to share on YouTube, he said he's going live, if you want to watch it, from the scene where somebody was reportedly shot. But I don't, I don't know if the person's there because the reporting says the person's in custody. Anyways, I'll let you know if I see his stream and I'll tell you where you can see it. Oh, Zedekiel said he's on his Facebook channel. I don't see him on his YouTube. He's not on his YouTube. Ford Fisher is his name. Oh, our viewer Craig Doherty, thanks, Craig. Craig mentioned that Karen Scullin from Fox 9 said she was hearing that 2 people now have been shot, but neither has life-threatening injuries. So we just don't know right now about, the exact details of this reported ICE shooting in Minneapolis. The Wall Street Journal has a new story out. The headline is Trump's military buildup in Caribbean limits his options in Iran. While no U.S. aircraft carrier strike group is in the Middle East, officials insist there are sufficient military assets in the region to strike Iran. Some reports today claim that the U.S. is going to move a carrier strike group to Iran from the South China Sea. We have an hour and 15 minutes left in the Iran airspace closure. It's 5:44 a.m. there. Some people in our chat tonight have been posting about explosions in Iran. I have heard no reports from any source or any account I follow or any news outlet I'm looking at. I've heard a grand total of 0 reports of any explosions in Iran. What is this? I hadn't heard this. There's a news account I follow on Telegram, which is claiming that Iran has requested a meeting of the UN Security Council. I didn't hear anyone report that. I've heard a couple claims that the US has requested a meeting. I'm not aware that any kind of meeting of the Security Council has been actually set up. Give me a moment here. Give me one moment here. Yeah, guys, the airspace is closed, but planes are allowed to, international civilian airliners are allowed to land or take off if they have been pre-approved. So I'm assuming if these really are, I mean, these are not being, I think, active, these are estimated positions, I believe now. That's what it looks like, if even. I'm not seeing the tracking behind them. Or are these taking off? Oh, these just took off. Well, it looks like maybe these took off. But again, planes are allowed to take off or leave as long as they have been cleared. International planes can take off or leave civilian as long as they have been approved in advance. Mahan Airlines, those two planes are, by the way. Mahan Air is a privately owned Iranian airline. I haven't seen much more about the apparent shooting of one person by ICE in Minneapolis. Reportedly, the person's okay. Appreciate you guys being here for the coverage. Thanks also to, for example, Leslie Ladyhawk and Beth Mythical over there on YouTube, who are Mike and Ruth. Thank you for moderating there. Thanks on Twitch to Big Ball of Your Own, Idaho Star, Got Fire, and Surly Dev on Twitch. On Facebook, thanks to Paul Anderson, who's moderating, K. Larry Body, big thanks. Margaret Riley, Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha on X, thank you. Also, thanks, again, everybody who's been watching. We have an hour and 8 minutes until the Iranian airspace closure ends. It is currently 5:51 a.m. Iran time. You are looking at Flight Radar 24. You can go to flightradar24.com and see it for yourself. The Iran closed this airspace, not the US. Iran decided to close it. We don't know exactly why. You know, Flight Radar 24 did a comparison of what it normally looks like there. Here, I'll show you. They said current air traffic compared to the same time last week. So last week, it's kind of hard to see. I'll make it a little bigger. That's what it would normally look like there at the same time. But obviously, it doesn't look like that right now. Oh, thank you, Steve Long. Steve Long, that's really nice of you. Thank you, Steve. Some of our viewers are saying Mahan is a Revolutionary Guard operated airline. I mean, it's a civilian airline. Those are civilian. They operate scheduled domestic services and international flights to the Far East, Middle East, Central Asia, and Europe, says Wikipedia. In 2024, the airline was sanctioned by the European Union for transporting weaponry to Russia during the Russian-Ukraine war. It was also suspected of transferring money to Hezbollah in Lebanon. The airline is also sanctioned by the U.S. Oh, it is affiliated with the Quds Force of the Revolutionary Guard Corps, says Wikipedia. But again, it's the purpose of the planes don't just carry around Revolutionary Guard troops. From my understanding, it's a civilian airline. Thank you, Jerry Simaglia. Thank you, Jerry. Not another Dutch guy says almost every business in Iran is owned by the Revolutionary Guard. I don't know about almost every business, but I believe they're involved in a lot of businesses. Gemini AI says the Revolutionary Guard is estimated by some, controls a massive economic empire in Iran, estimated by some to be 1/3 to 2/3 of the country's GDP. Wikipedia says the Revolutionary Guard has extended its influence into vast economic sectors, including controlling everything from construction to agriculture. Thanks so much to You Are Not Alone. I appreciate that. Who says, if they didn't shut it down because of the US, it makes you wonder who or what is on the 2 previous planes from China to Iran that landed a little while ago, or the current 2 flying. Thank you so much. You are not alone. About an hour until the airspace closure ends. Hold on a second. Okay. CBS News' Camilo Montoya Galvez reports about the Minnesota shooting. 3 U.S. officials tell CBS News the shooting occurred after men with shovels attacked ICE officers during an arrest operation. One of the men, a Venezuelan migrant, was shot in the leg and is expected to be okay, 2 of the officials said. Again, that's coming from government officials. I don't have another side of the story yet. Don't know if we'll see video of it or something.
O mundo está cada vez mais complexo. Guerras e rumores de guerra colocam em xeque o futuro da humanidade. Novos sujeitos entram em cena neste novo complexo geopolítico. Não há mais espaço para nos limitarmos à contemplação dos eventos. É preciso sermos protagonistas. O momento é agora, o canal é o Ágora. Ágora da Geopolítica. Se inscreva, compartilhe, apoie